you ever thought about how many people are drawn to the stars? Or ever questioned why so many are drawn to them? We are going to do just that here in this video in 15 minutes or less. Some say it is because of the constellations, some because of the galaxies and planets. Some may even say it is because of the possibility of advanced life forms somewhere out in the cosmos. But have you ever wondered if it could be because of something much deeper and less thought of that is seated without our knowledge deep within our body's makeup? Do I have your attention yet? Let me be a little more clear and less riddled. I am saying, could it be because, as quoted by National Geographic's, we are stardust, literally, or Joni Mitchell, who sang at Woodstock, we are stardust. You know that saying, birds of a feather flock together? So with that said, do you think it is possible that so many of us are drawn to the stars because we are in fact made from them? A matter of fact, everything we know to exist has remnants of star and massive explosions in the universe. An astrophysicist named Carl Shriver, who was a senior fellow at the Lockheed Martin Solar and Astrophysics Laboratory, and his wife Iris, who was a professor of pathology at Stanford University, have explained how everything in us originated in cosmic explosions billions of years ago. As I said earlier, everything we are and everything in the universe and on Earth originated from stardust, and it continually floats through us even today. It connects us to the universe and rebuilds our bodies over and over again through our lifetimes, since our bodies are in a constant state of decay and regeneration. We are made up of 93% stardust. Stars take a fuel and convert it to something else. Hydrogen is formed into helium, then helium is built into carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, iron, and sulfur. Everything that we are made of. So most of what we are made of comes out of dying stars. Star deaths vary. Some will simply burn out, while others will collapse into a black hole, while others have extremely violent deaths known as supernovas. Supernovas are stars that literally explode, sending out the building blocks for life as we know it. Did you know that 40,000 tons of cosmic dust fall on Earth every year? Did you also know that planets are like big vacuum cleaners that suck in everything around them? The stardust gets here in the form of objects weighing micrograms that can't be seen unless you had a microscope, as well as things that weigh many tons such as comets or asteroids. Our skin is an organ. In fact, it is our largest one. To stay alive, our cells have to divide and grow. Cells also age and eventually die, and our skin is a perfect example of this. We see it growing and changing, drying out and dying our whole lives. For example, have you ever been in the shower washing your arms and seen your skin rub off in black clumps? This is your dead skin cells sloughing off for the new skin cells. Your skin cells are replaced roughly every month or two, meaning our entire external surface layer is replaced about once a year. So even now, our bodies are taking in stardust, sometimes from millions of years ago. It also finds its way into our bodies through food consumption. Yes, that is right. Stardust finds its way into plants, and from there into the nutrients that we need for everything we do, such as thinking and moving. Our planet, our society, and we ourselves are built of star stuff. Quote by Carl Sagan, Cosmos. Our galaxy is the Milky Way, and it is about 13.6 billion years old. With that said, once upon a time, there were no galaxies, and there weren't always stars in the universe. Stars were first created after the Big Bang, and the universe began to cool. All there was gas spread throughout. The gas began to come together in large clumps, slowly heating up to create the process of nuclear fusion that powers stars. Our galaxy contains over 200 billion stars with enough dust and gas to create billions more. More than half the stars in our galaxy are older than our 4.5 billion-year-old sun. Dark matter provided the gravitational driving force for hydrogen and helium gases to start coming together. As the gas condensed, it began to release energy. Molecules formed from atoms, which aided in the cooling and clumping, allowing the gas to condense further. Eventually, the gravity could no longer exert enough force for any further condensing. Now we have the beginning of an infant protostar. The earliest protostar grew large due to them consisting mainly of simple and abundant elements like helium and hydrogen. This means that the stars that would eventually be born from these Protostars could create heavier elements like oxygen, iron, nitrogen, and carbon, which are the basic building blocks to life on Earth and all that we know to exist. Many people or groups of people throughout history have even referenced how we came from the stars and even how we shall return to the stars, just in a slightly different way. Let's take a look at this, starting with the Egyptian culture. Ancient Egyptian civilization strongly believed that humans came from the stars in Sirius and Orion, and that their deceased kings would return to the stars when they died, where they would enjoy their afterlife. Ancient Egyptians heavily incorporated the stars into their ideologies and everyday life. They also believed in a place called the Duat. Learn more about this in Spike St. Cloud's video titled Alternate Egypt in 15 Minutes or Less, which is a mysterious region associated with death and rebirth. The Duat was believed to have been located in the underworld or in the sky. Another thing believed by the ancient Egyptians was that the cosmos was inhabited by the gods and the spirits of deceased humans. Now let's move on to Plato. Plato said that the demiurge made souls equal in number with the stars and distributed them, each soul to its several star, and he who should live well for his due span of time should journey back to the habitation of his consort star. So what he was saying is that our souls are stars, and when we die, our souls will return to the sky with the stars. This comes from Plato's Timaeus. To learn more about Plato and his writing, check out Spike St. Cloud's video titled Convincing You That Atlantis Existed in 15 Minutes or Less. With that all said, I think it is safe to say their beliefs are that we basically go back to the source from which we came, and that we are all connected to each other. Before I end this video, I am going to give you something to think about for a while. I would like you to sit back and think about the cosmos, and then about our own physical and spiritual bodies, with the concept of as above, so below in mind.